The Harris-Walz campaign continues its nosedive because of the Biden-Harris administration.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
It is Wednesday, October 17th, 2024. That means that it's 19 days, just 19 very short days till Election Day when we decide on a new president. Either way, Sleepy Joe's bowing out, and we're going to have either Trump or Harris as the next president of the United States. And it's not looking good for Kamala Harris, let me tell you. It is not looking good for Kamala Harris. And she's come up with this strategy, her campaign team, rather, has come up with this strategy. Let's go into the lion's den. Let's do what Trump did, doing debates on CNN and ABC. Let's do what J.D. Vance did, confronting our ABC people, and confront Fox. Suck them right in the nose. And it didn't look too well because Bret Baier, who is one of the milder interviewers, I mean, I would have won full throttle if I was Fox, and I would have put somebody like Jesse Waters or even Janine Pirro on there, or even Gret Gutfeld on there to interview her and just totally roast her. But they went with a mild person like Bret Baier. And we're looking at an election loss for her. We're totally looking at an election loss for her. All right, first thing I'm going to show you is the very first question. The very first question Bret asks her. And just look at it for yourselves.
50 countries. How many illegal immigrants would you estimate your administration has released into the country over the last 3.5 years?
Well, I'm glad you raised the issue of immigration, because I agree with you. It is a topic of discussion that people want to rightly have. And you know what I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, but
right
do you,
now,
just a number, do you think it's 1 million, 3 million?
Bret, let's just get to the point, okay? The point is that we have a broken immigration system that needs to be repaired.
So your Homeland Security Secretary said that 85% of apprehensions.
I'm not finished. We have an
it's a rough estimate of 6 million people have been released into the country. And let me just finish. I'll get to the question, I promise you.
I was beginning to answer.
And when you came into office, your administration immediately reversed a number of Trump border policies. Most significantly, the policy that required illegal immigrants to be detained through deportation, either in the U.S. or in Mexico. And you switched that policy. They were released from custody awaiting trial. So instead, included in those were a large number of single men, adult men, who went on to commit heinous crimes.
So she answers the immigration question by saying our immigration system is broken. But Bret responds in not so many words by saying, it's you. It was you. It was you and Joe that broke it. And that's what happened. she wants to complain about a broken immigration system, and it was the Biden-Harris administration that broke it. 95 executive orders overturned, borders blasted wide open, letting people into the country, including Laken Riley's killer, Rachel Morin's killer, and Jocelyn Nungary, who again was 12 years old, double-teamed, raped and killed. Yeah, their rapists and killers were let into the country by the Biden-Harris administration with Alejandro Mayorkas as Homeland Security Director. The record is going to ruin her. The record is going to ruin her. And she's not looking good in the polls. The honeymoon is over. They called it the honeymoon when they rolled her out as the candidate, brought in beta boy there, cuddly coach Tim Walz as the vice presidential candidate, her running mate there. And everybody's all happy and clapping. Tim Walz over there with his stupid grin, clapping for every freaking thing that moves. And now the honeymoon's over. Back to policy. What's your policy? You can't name one thing. And Brett asks her about the polls. Asks her pretty much, in not so many words, of course, because he wants to be an impartial journalist, but in not so many words, he's pretty much asking her, why do you suck in these polls now? And she couldn't answer. Listen to this.
Rhetoric that people are frankly exhausted of, Brett.
More than 70% of people
exhausted.
tell the country is on the wrong track. They say the country is on the wrong track. If it's on the wrong track, that track follows 3.5 years of you being vice president and President Biden being president. That is what they're saying, 79% of them. Why are they saying that? If you're turning the page, you've been in office for 3.5 years.
And Donald Trump has been running for office.
But you've been the person holding the office.
Come on.
Madam Vice President.
You and I both know what I'm talking about. You and I both know what I'm talking about.
I actually don't. What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is that over the last decade,
But
people
you're the
have
lever of
become.
power.
But listen, over the last decade, it is clear to me, and certainly the Republicans who are on stage with me, the former chief of staff to the president, Donald Trump.
Everything that explains her faults, everything that addresses her faults, and this is every Democrat that does this. The response is, yeah, but Trump. Yeah, but Trump. Yeah, but Trump. And she wants to talk about a bill that Trump killed. Let me tell you something. There was not one member of the legislative branch of this government that Trump whispered in their ear and said, vote against that bill. It was sensible people in Congress, some of whom were Democrats, at least 6 of them were Democrats, that voted against that bill because it was a garbage bill. It still allowed a number of illegals into the country. Illegals into the country that are getting all kinds of benefits and gift cards and shit like that our homeless veterans could be getting and should be getting. They're sitting in 5-star hotels, and so we cut down on this. How about whittle that number down to 0 until we can figure this thing out? No, they don't want to do that. They don't want to do that at all. They want to create a problem and blame it on Trump. That's their career. Would these people have a life at all if Donald Trump never existed? These are people that loved Donald Trump until he ran for president. And they're just being assholes. They're being straight up assholes. And they're not going to get their way. And as I mentioned in my last video, the down ballots are hurting because of Kamala Harris. She's hurting that congresswoman that's running for the Senate of Michigan. And even Sean Spicer predicts that Rogers is going to win that senatorial race. Michigan's going to have a Republican senator there. Hell, I'm going to go on a limb and say that Kirsten Gillibrand, an incumbent running for re-election here in New York as senator, she might lose to Mike Sapricone. And boy, what a glorious day that'll be. Yeah, don't just come out during the presidential election to vote for president. You got to go all the way down the line. Everybody, from the president, as Don Jr. says, all the way down to door catcher, column B, grand old party. Just vote column B all the way down. Because we need to get these radicals out of office. These people that are hurting me specifically. It's going to get to a point, if the Democrats remain in power, that if I walk these streets and admit to being a registered Republican, I might get jumped. Do you want to see me get jumped and get beaten up? I don't think so. I don't think any normal human being would want to see me get bloodied up in the streets just for admitting that I'm not a liberal. Just for admitting that whether I have kids or not, which I don't, that I don't want a kindergarten teacher leaning over to little Billy in his kindergarten class and saying to him, maybe you're meant to be a girl. This is what we need to stop, okay? We need to have these rapists and murderers to stay on their side of the border so that they're not coming in and raping and killing sweet, innocent little girls like Jocelyn Nungary. And speaking of that, let's hear from the mother of Jocelyn Nungary.
Because of the Biden-Harris administration open border policies catch and release, they were enrolled in the Alternatives to Detention program. This meant that they were released into the United States. It was not even a full 3 weeks later that they would take my daughter, Jocelyn Nungary's life. I believe the Biden-Harris administration open border policies are responsible for the death of my daughter.
And let me add to that poor grieving mother. Personally, my heart goes out to that poor grieving mother. Respect God, watch out for the Illuminati, follow and share my content, vote for the party of common sense, the party of morality. Stay strong and keep kicking that slang. This is your boy, hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, MC Too Tall.